Bamraji and dignitaries, Virendra Sharmaji and Dr. Vandanaji, Dr. Madan Tangavelu, JLN Shastriji, and John and Peter doctors and Dr. Ravishankar Polishetty who is here with us. Anyway, it's a great subject because it is as ancient as it is now. The reasons why I would like to put into another version of historical perspective. I was so fascinated to learn about things through from scientific eye from Dr. Polishetty Ravishankar who is here with the Polyscientific Ayurveda, because before that the references what I could gain from Padma Purana, the references what he suggested through from Charangadhara Samhita or from Charaka Samhita and so on. The reasons I'm talking here, because in Sanskrit, the Chanakya, if you heard about the Maurya kingdom dynasty, the Chanakya is an economist, world economist at the beginning. And he started saying about uh, Prakriti kopebhyo, sarva kopebhyo, gariyan. The one word when it comes to the point of the events which are taking place from the Dharma, and finally comes to a version of saying that the mother nature is so mighty and it knows how to nurture the diversity and plurality which is existing from ancient in historic times of time unknown. And then the very small baby calling Dr. Vandanaji talking about like the baby when it does lots of mischievous things, and then mother knows how to put into correct form, whatever it is. But then it comes to the point of historical changes in the events took place. If you know the sage Vishwamitra, the sage in Treta era from Rama's time, and he created a Trishanku Swarga. The Trishanku Swarga is like exactly the mimicking of the heavens. So we are trying to make heavens for our yield and our concerns for the growing populations to meet for the standards of the good food. Nobody goes to starving, and then no famine and things like that in the global earth. But then it happened in the past as well to come with such kind of the quality is being countered by the Vishwamitra and Trishanku Swarga, which eventually no one could enjoy that kind of the pleasures which are an illusion. So when you talk about all those historical perspectives in Ayurveda, Vriksha Ayurveda, the Ayurveda was for the plants and the Ayurveda for the cultivation, and then the quality, sustaining, as Dr. Jayalan Shastri talked about all the species. I would like to mention about one thing, as Madam Dr. Vandana was talking about the hoofless or the hornless, the cows, what we have here. And you wonder to see the cow's milk, what I used to enjoy in my childhood, 1960s, 70s from rural India, is not same anymore. And equally, when you boil the milk, and easily we can see how organic it could be, how much can we boil to make that quality coming back, and it is being with lots of kapha and dosha, what we can say from Ayurveda point of view. And if you look into the Ayurveda, the quality standards for maintaining the cow, and it goes to the point of today's existing species like Punganur cow in the South India, or Kathiawar cows and Girnar cows, where experimentation shown that a lot of gold being synthesized out of the urine. And for the recent times of this COVID-19, the Panchagavya Gruta prepared out of that holy cows is the biggest scientific validation now to cure all the symptoms. Why I'm talking about the quality of these cows existing till today, from the ancient times of the Kamadhenu to the Nandini, in the inheritance of the qualities. And when you look into the qualities of the cow on the basis of the symmetrical genetical, the qualities from the uniformity of the horns to the hump, which is on the back as a means of sequential, the hair spirals, which are 5, and significant folds in the neck, and as well as to the tail, and it's a 3 twists. Everything is so symbolic to collect the cow, which is having like a black cow, black calf, red cow, white cow, white calf, is the kind of the genetic precisions Ayurveda took apart, and then started feeding these cows with the Arjuna Parna Prabrutiyam. The cows fed with the terminally Arjuna. Mashaparna Prabrutiyam. The cows fed with the wild species of the moonbeams. The cows fed with the wild species of the black gram. And there are so many specifications to say how the quality can be achieved from the kind of organic farming what it was in the ancient times. For the rejuvenation chapter in Charaka Samhita to talk about, whole field is being irrigated with such kind of holy cow milk to to grow, as Dr. Madan Tangavelu was talking about the rice species which are there in India, and rightly said, the rice is similarly having the kind of DNA which is so flexible and loose, or more in a way like softer, like human beings, when the science is telling about. And to modify that genetic quality, the irrigated cow's milk produced grains are being used for high rejuvenating quality of the life. So there are so many things to talk about the availability in the terms of biodiversity on the planet Earth. It took huge amount of evolution for this kind of to make changes, because it's a mathematical biology. Mathematical biology, as Dr. Polishetty Ravishankar, who is here, and he talks about polyscientific Ayurveda, is so precise to mention that 7 million chemicals, or 8.4 million chemicals equivalent mentioned in Padma Purana, for the 32 trillion interactions taking place into 11 phases of whatever he describes, is exactly fitting to the genetic mathematical engineering in the past. The scientists of Ayurveda, the sages, were talking about precisely. So there are so much is there for the quality to maintain and the standards, because it is very risky times where we are now, because it is, we cannot blame, and the mother nature has a lot of patience to tolerate what sort of inhuman kind of injustice being done. We all are aware of it. I don't want to talk about that, but then say it has a ways to come back. And that is what the time, as a means of Kalira, we are now with the quarter length of our righteousness to fight back to the 3/4 of the non-righteous forms of socio-economical, political big strengths, which are trying to put an iron leg onto the kind of growth from the nature's point of view. So there is no time, but then I would like to conclude my talk for the quality enhances with the mother nature will revive soon, and we hope so. Sarve Jana Sukhino Bhavantu, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Thanks for Maburaji giving this opportunity. Thank you very much, one to all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor Joshi.